Hello again, and welcome to i-nastava. My name is Helga Kraljik, and I will be your English teacher today. I hope you like what we prepared for you, because we are about to wrap up the topic of globalization. I hope you've learned the vocabulary covered so far, as it can come in handy when argumenting in your final essay. Today, we will expand our vocabulary on the positive aspects of globalization. Then, you will get ready for an online class discussion. First, you will do some research on do's and don'ts of an online discussion and present the results of your work in an infographic. Next, after researching the pros and cons of globalization, you will be ready for the class discussion. For this lesson, you will need your notebook, something to write with, and a smartphone or laptop with internet connection. In order to do some exercises, you will have to pause the video. When you see the pause button on the screen, it will be your signal to pause the recording in order to do some exercises. It was in 2010 that the UN Secretary General said in a press release, "As globalization draws people closer together, making most of cultural diversity, promoting cross-cultural dialogue can ease tensions." By saying so, he recognized that we live in a world that is rapidly changing and growing more connected. Do you agree that by learning about other people's cultures and customs, we ourselves become more open, accepting, and tolerant? Would you say that understanding different cultures is paving the way for a new world where we all stand together? Based on what we've just heard, we can say that these notes will help you talk about globalization. Pause the video, copy them in your notebook, and provide Croatian equivalents just to make sure that you know what they all mean. We hear about climate change on an everyday basis. Today, when we talk about pollution, I think that CO2 is one of the first things that come to our mind. Air pollution is damaging not only to human health, but also to other species. Let us conclude that in the past, people should not have released CO2 in such large quantities into our atmosphere. And today, we should take better care of our planet. Have a closer look now at the different forms used when we talk about past and when we talk about present. When we talk about past, the modal verb should is followed by have and then by past participle. However, when we talk about present, verb should is followed by infinitive, should take. Now it's your turn to write full sentences about noise pollution this time. Again, the first sentence refers to the past, while the second one refers to the present. Pause the video now and write the full sentences in your notebook. In the first sentence, we talk about something that should not have happened in the past. So the fact is that people neglected the impact of noise pollution. However, they should not have neglected it. The second sentence refers to the present. So today, people should recognize causes of noise pollution. I think you are ready now for a short task. Go to bit.ly the Earth models or scan the code to access this short exercise. What about this sentence? Is it about present or past? Is should followed by an infinitive or have plus past participle? It is followed by an infinitive, so it must refer to the present. Let us now try to rewrite this sentence, starting it with the object, which means that we will be putting it into the passive voice. Remember this? Be plus past participle. You will need this for putting the sentences into the passive voice. Start by putting the object at the beginning of the passive sentence and then copy the modal verb. Causes of noise pollution should. Next, you will need to put the verb recognize in the appropriate form. Be recognized. So the sentence is, causes of noise pollution should be recognized. We've already established that this sentence refers to the past because should is followed by have and by past participle. Let's rewrite the sentence, putting it into the passive voice. So first, put the object at the beginning. Copy should and change the rest of the verb. Remember, we are talking about past now. The impact of noise pollution should not have been neglected. Your turn now. You will write these 5 sentences in your notebook and then put them into the passive voice. You can check your work here. Which of the 5 sentences refer to the past? The first and the fourth sentence. You can pause the video now to check your work. Do you remember these notes from the beginning of our today's lesson? You will now use them while writing a short paragraph about globalization, 5 to 7 sentences. Even such a short paragraph as this needs to be linked well. Always pay attention to the right use and form of the tenses and make sure that you use modal verbs. Use at least one in the past and one in the present. Let's now get ready for our online class discussion on good and bad sides of globalization. Read the task now. We will now go step by step to help you get ready for the online discussion. First, let us think about etiquette. Why is it important to be polite when communicating online? What are some do's in an online communication and what are some don'ts? Always remember this rule of thumb. If you wouldn't do or say something in real life, don't do it online either. You will need to design an infographic that should include your opinion on why it is important to use an etiquette during an online discussion, but also the 4 or 5 do's and don'ts that you came up with. Before sending your infographic to your teacher, make sure that you've covered all the things here in this checklist. Since you know beforehand that the topic of online discussion is advantages and disadvantages of globalization, you need to prepare well. Make a list of both pros and cons and be ready to support them. Find some facts or information online, but make sure to use reliable sources. The final step in getting ready for your online discussion is expressing your opinion. You will need to learn these to be able to use them, and also it is very good advice to rehearse expressing your opinion, because this will help you be more confident during discussions. Suppose you want to make a statement stronger. You can do it by adding words like really or strongly. And you can say, I really think that, I strongly believe, I truly feel. Sometimes you will not agree with other students' opinions, and this is perfectly normal. However, be very careful of how you express this. These expressions might help. Let us now go back to our task. I think we've covered all the parts here and that you are ready for your online discussion. Your English teacher will let you know when you will meet. If you're still not quite sure if you're ready for the online discussion, go through this checklist. You can always go back in the video lesson to the parts that you need more exercise with. Before you leave, think about today's lesson. What are the 3 things that you've learned? What questions might you still have? And please write one opinion. That would be all for today. Bye.